rain fell hard over the small coastal town of Hollow Ridge, a place that had once been quiet, untouched, and peaceful, until something began prowling the night. Locals whispered about it in hushed tones at the diner, or while locking their doors earlier than usual. No one ever saw it clearly, but everyone heard it, the growl that made blood turn to ice. Lena Gray wasn't one for ghost stories. A 29-year-old freelance wildlife photographer, she had come to Hollow Ridge for solitude. After years of chaos in the city, she wanted peace, the kind that came from foggy mornings and distant waves. She rented a small cabin near the woods, setting up her camera traps to capture foxes, owls, maybe even a mountain lion if she was lucky. But what her camera caught that first night made her stomach twist. At 3:14 a.m., one of her cameras snapped a photo, blurry, distorted, but something was wrong. Two glowing eyes reflected back from the darkness, positioned far higher than any animal she knew. The shoulders were too broad, the silhouette almost human. She dismissed it as a trick of light and focused on her work the next day. But when she hiked back to check her other cameras, she found something even more disturbing. Deep claw marks gouged into the bark of a tree higher than her head. The marks weren't random. They looked deliberate, almost like a message. That night, the scratching began. Soft at first, just outside her cabin wall. A faint scrape, like nails dragging slowly downward. Lena froze, flashlight in hand, heart thudding in her throat. The sound stopped when she moved closer to the window. She shined the light outside. Nothing. Only trees swaying in the storm and rain streaking down the glass. The next morning, she found footprints in the mud near her porch. Huge, animal-like with long claws, but the shape was wrong. The heel was rounded, human. The sheriff laughed it off. "You city folks see a raccoon and call it Bigfoot," he said, tapping his badge. "There's no monster out here, ma'am." But Lena saw the look in his eyes, the flicker of fear he tried to hide. That night, she stayed up editing photos, the glow of her laptop the only light in the room. At 2:37 a.m., her power went out. Total darkness. She reached for her phone. No signal. The silence pressed down like a weight. Then a thump against the door. Once. Twice. Then a slow drag, like something heavy scraping across the porch. She gripped the handle of her flashlight and crept toward the sound. "Who's there?" she whispered, voice trembling. A low growl answered her from the other side, deep, guttural, inhuman. She stumbled back, heart pounding. The door shook violently, something slamming into it over and over. She screamed, ran to the back room, and grabbed her camera. She snapped photos blindly through the window, flashes lighting up the rain. For a second, she saw it. A shape tall, hunched, covered in wet, matted fur. Its mouth gaped open, teeth gleaming white. Then it turned its head toward her. Its eyes were human. Lena dropped the camera and ran to the bedroom, locking the door behind her. She climbed into the closet, muffling her breath with her hands. Outside, wood splintered. The front door burst open. Slow, deliberate footsteps crossed the floor. She could hear it sniffing, breathing, searching. Something brushed against the closet door. She bit her lip, shaking. Then silence. Minutes passed like hours. When dawn finally broke, she crawled out, trembling. The cabin was destroyed, claw marks, overturned furniture, the door hanging off its hinges. But what she saw next made her knees give way. Written across the wall in long, bloody strokes were the words, "You shouldn't have watched." Lena packed her things and drove into town, her hands trembling on the wheel. She found the sheriff's office empty, the lights off, a faint metallic smell hanging in the air. Behind the desk lay the sheriff's hat and a trail of blood leading out the back door. She followed it to the woods. The blood led to an old hunting shack, the door half open. Inside, she found photographs pinned to the walls, photos of her, sleeping, working, walking through the woods, every single one taken from a distance. Her breath caught when she recognized the handwriting on the corner of one photo, her own. It was her signature. Something moved behind her. She spun around, flashlight flickering. The creature stood in the doorway, taller than before, its face hidden in shadow. It took a step forward, and, as lightning flashed, she saw it clearly for the first time. It was her face, her eyes, her body twisted into something monstrous. She stumbled back in horror. The creature's mouth stretched into a grin, and in her own voice, it whispered, "I warned you." She screamed and ran into the woods, branches tearing her skin. Behind her, the creature's footsteps pounded the earth, faster, closer. She reached the cliffside, overlooking the ocean, waves crashing below. She turned to face it, gasping. "Why me?" she cried. The creature tilted its head. "You look too long," it said. "Now I see through you." It lunged. Lena jumped, falling into the darkness below. Days later, hikers found her car abandoned near the trailhead. No body was ever recovered. But every few weeks, another hiker goes missing near Hollow Ridge. Locals still hear the sound at night, the soft, deliberate scratch of claws against cabin walls. And sometimes, if you wander too far into those woods, you might see her, standing still, half hidden behind a tree, eyes glowing faintly in the dark, waiting to pounce.